Love lost in vain. As the dynamic CEO of Liying Enterprises, Shu Liying was a force to be reckoned with, sharp-witted, fearless, and unapologetically ambitious. But behind the walls of her luxurious penthouse, her marriage to Li Jian had become nothing more than a hollow formality. Jian was the polar opposite of Li Ying. While she thrived in boardrooms filled with negotiations and strategies, Jian found comfort in the quiet man, content with simple routines, home-cooked meals, and the warmth of companionship. To Li Ying, he was a shadow trailing behind her brilliance, a man whose lack of ambition made her feel trapped. She had married him before her empire grew, back when dreams were small and love was enough. But now, as she stood atop the corporate world, Jian seemed insignificant, a man lost in her rearview mirror. What she never knew was that behind his soft-spoken demeanor, Jian was hiding a truth. He was a silent millionaire, a strategic investor whose wealth surpassed even hers. But he never cared for power or recognition. His heart was anchored in love, not titles, and that was his greatest flaw. The other man. At a prestigious business gala, Li Ying's eyes met Chen Yu's, a magnetic executive with charm that dripped like honey and ambition as fierce as her own. He was everything Jian wasn't: charismatic, bold, and a master of manipulation hidden beneath a charming smile. Jian was there too, lingering at the edge of the crowd, watching as his wife laughed at Yu's witty remarks, her eyes sparkling in a way they never did when she looked at him. His heart tightened with an ache he couldn't name, his quiet love overshadowed by the roaring chemistry between his wife and another man. The affair began like a whispered secret late-night meetings, under the pretense of work, stolen glances, fleeting touches that grew bolder with time. Lying convinced herself it wasn't love, just an escape from the monotony of a marriage she believed had expired. At home, Jian noticed everything: the lingering perfume that wasn't his, the distant look in her eyes, the coldness in her voice. But he said nothing. Love had made him a silent witness to his own heartbreak. "Why can't you be more like Yu's?" she snapped one evening, her words slicing through the fragile thread that held their marriage together. Jian simply smiled, the kind of smile that masked 1,000 unshed tears. The fool, blinded by passion and ambition, Lying dove deeper into her affair with Yu's, believing he was the partner she deserved. But Yu's had his own agenda. He used her influence to climb the corporate ladder, exploiting her vulnerability as a stepping stone. When his betrayal unfolded, public lie leaked documents, embezzlement scandals, and media frenzy. Pying's empire crumbled overnight. Investors pulled out, board members turned against her, and the world she had meticulously built collapsed like a house of cards. In the aftermath of her downfall, she returned to the apartment she once shared with Jian, expecting cold judgment. But the emptiness that greeted her was far worse. Jian was gone. On the kitchen counter, beside a neatly folded napkin, lay a handwritten note. "I loved you when you were nothing. I loved you when you had everything. But I can't love someone who no longer sees me." The simplicity of his words hurt more than Yu's betrayal ever could. The new woman. Months passed, and Li Ying tried to rebuild her life, haunted by regret. One day, during a business event she had once ruled over with pride, her heart froze. There, standing confidently amidst a crowd of elite investors, was Jian. But he wasn't the man she remembered. He was transformed, dressed in a tailored suit that spoke of silent wealth, his demeanor radiating the kind of quiet power that commanded respect without effort. He wasn't a shadow anymore. He was the sun. And beside him stood Lin Qiao, a graceful woman with warmth in her smile and elegance that didn't need to compete. They laughed easily, their chemistry undeniably natural, effortless, everything Li Ying had once taken for granted. It was then she learned the truth. Li Jian wasn't just wealthy. He was one of the silent titans of Beijing's business world, his investments spanning industries she never even knew he touched. Jealousy burned, but it was regret that consumed her. The desperate attempt. Unable to suppress the storm inside her, Li Ying approached Jian after the event. Her voice trembled, not with power, but with vulnerability. Yan, he made their mistakes. I was blind. I thought I knew what I wanted, but I didn't. I miss you. I miss us. Jian looked at her with eyes that once held oceans of love, now calm and distant. You miss the man who waited in silence for you to notice, he replied softly, but that man no longer exists. She reached for his hand, desperation thick in her voice. Can't we start over? I was foolish, I see it now, please. Jian gently pulled his hand away, his smile kind but unyielding. I begged for your attention when my heart was still yours. But love isn't something you return to out of regret. It's something you cherish before it's gone. Li Ying watched as he walked back to Qiao, his arms slipping naturally around her waist. They didn't look back. And as Li Ying stood there, surrounded by the ghosts of what could have been, she realized that some loves aren't just lost, they're lost in vain.